All right, hopefully I'm live. All right, hopefully you guys can see and hear me. Hopefully. Hello. Gonna give everybody a couple of minutes here to get on. There we go. All right. Oh. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. Hey. Oh, good. Okay. You can see me. Thank you. Hopefully you can hear me okay too. Yes. Okay. All right. Let me get my microphone here. Okay. Mic is on. We are on. There we go. Okay. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Come on in. Yes. About to drop some nuggets tonight. Okay. Hopefully, bless some of you guys that have been sitting on a fence up here playing with your benefits. I don't know why. Okay. But I'm here. I'm glad you're here. Okay, good. All right. Let me turn my phone down some. So you guys can have my attention. All right. So, yes, tonight, thanks again for tuning in. So, this is our weekly webinar. You guys know I'm always about educating, right? I'm here to educate. Okay. So, tonight, what we're going to talk about is how you guys are underutilizing your benefits. So, if you're a veteran, if you are currently active duty, National Guard, reservist, any of those, this webinar is for you, right? So I feel like a lot of times I know so many of veterans that aren't using their benefits, and I just don't understand why. Like, why are you not using your benefits? It makes no sense. Okay. You guys are just sitting here. You've already earned the benefits, right? By being in the military, you served your time, you paid your dues to your country, and you just letting benefits just sit by the wayside unused. Why? Okay. So there's a couple things we're going to discuss tonight, and I know we don't have that much time, but a couple things we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about who qualifies for a VA loan and how you can check your eligibility. Then we're also going to talk about the loan benefits, right? The perks of it. We're also going to go through the process, right? Just to kind of highlight the process, and then just talk about some myths that everyone is just kind of it's holding you up, right? It's what's stopping stones right now. So let's start right now. I think with 6:32, I wanted to give till a couple more minutes, but I see people are already showing up. You guys are showing up. Hello, Legacy. Hello, Nia. Okay, I know that is Queen Nia. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, I want to be respectful of the people that showed up on time. Okay. And for those of you guys that are late, you can always just catch the replay. Okay. Because this is on YouTube. So you can watch it again and again and again. Okay. So let's get into it. First of all, I'm Ayabami Kadar, right? And if you've came to this channel and you've stumbled upon me, you know that I proudly served in the United States Army. I got an RTC scholarship in college. And so after I completed my doctorate, I went and served my time in the US Army. And it was one of the best things that ever, right? for me personally, because of the things of how it's transformed my life, the leadership skills it learned, and also with the benefits that I've earned because I was able to become a homeowner through my service in the Army. So that's the first thing is who. So that's just a little bit of background about me, right? I was able to purchase multiple properties using my VA loan, um, and I'm here to show you guys how. Okay. Because a lot of people don't even realize you can have more than one property under your VA, right? You can still use your VA benefits more than one time at the same time, like concurrently. Um, so that's the first thing. The first thing is who's eligible. And you guys realize the first thing you have to do is go to va.gov. Okay, that's what you have to do. You got to go to va.gov. You can go on there and you can check your certificate of eligibility. And I'll provide a download at the end of this that you can just click the link on there and check everything out because I don't want you to have to, feverishly write everything down. But that's the first step is to check your eligibility. It's just as little as 90 days, 180 days in some other circumstances. And they have like all of these times. So like if you serve during, 1983 to 1993 or what have you, they have all of the years and they'll have any, they'll define if there's any like, exclusions, right? And then you can see that's your first thing is to verify that you're eligible. And 90 days, I mean, that's crazy if that's all you had to serve and you can be eligible for these benefits. So, step number one, check your certificate of eligibility. Okay. Very simple. Go to va.gov and check it. Then, after you get your certificate of eligibility, you know that you are eligible, right? Then the next thing is going to be you got to check your finances, right? You got to know first what you can afford before you can step to the bank and say, hey, I want a house. You need to know what you can afford. So you need to know what your bills are. You need to know what you have saved up. At the time when I got my first home, I had $1,500, guys. And it was something where, since I was active duty, when you're active duty, they know the bank knows you're going to get paid, right? Because you're government property, you're going to get paid. You're going to get a check. Like we know that Trump is in office and he playing around with the money, but as it stands right now, if you are a United States soldier, you're going to get paid on the 1st and the 15th or the 1st, however you like it set up. So, thing is you got to know. So if you're active duty, that housing allowance is the hack, right? So you got your base pay, but then you have your housing allowance. And the housing allowance, always my goal was to make sure that my cost of living was lower than the housing allowance. So you got to know your numbers, right? And once you have you and your credit score goes with that, right? So make sure that as you're checking your finances, you've also checked your credit score so you know what your credit score is. And there are things like people think that if you have stuff in collections, that's not a for sure that you're not going to qualify because you have things in collections. If you're under a repayment plan, then most of the time that's good enough for the bank. They just need to see. I mean, it can't be like it went into collections yesterday, like it needs to be a couple of months. But you can provide something that speaks to that. So don't let that be a stumbling block. Don't let your student loans be something that stop you up. Because a lot of people think, oh man, I got student loans, I'm not going to get financing. That's not true. You can absolutely still get finance. You can still get a house. You can still get finance. You can get a mortgage with school loans. So don't let that be something. As long as you're showing that you're paying, and even if you're deferred, because my first one, I was deferred. Okay, I was not even paying those loans at the time. I was deferred. So even in deferred status, you still qualify. So don't let that be something that just holds you up. One thing is we're so quick to go for the no. Like we're so quick to assume it's a no and we didn't even get the no. So, and even if somebody says no, if one bank says no, then try another one. Like it's been times where I didn't get approved with one bank, and then I went to another bank and they approved me. So to get more than one no, at least the no shows that you're taking some effort. You're trying. Okay. So you've checked your eligibility, you've made sure your finances are in order. You've with that you've checked your credit score, right? If there's anything in collections, anything negative, go ahead and start working towards that and speaking to it and making sure you have a repayment plan in place so that's not a holdup. Okay. Um, so now with all of that, now you're ready to say, hey, let me step to the bank and see what I qualify for. Okay. If you don't have a bank that a mortgage broker or lender that you're dealing with and you need one, then please connect. Okay. You can send me a message, link with me, and I have resources that you can utilize. Okay. Um, so with that, when you go and apply, right, the application process is very simple. Even if you get denied, what you need to do is with that denial, look and see what you need to work on. So create a plan over the next 6 months or to a year or what have you, so you can reapply. Okay, and try again. So fix the things that they said are issues and then try again. So those are the steps. That is it in a nutshell. That's what you have to do. And that's exactly what I did. Okay. And so guys, let me tell you, I was fresh out of college and actually no, because I was 27. So we were a couple years in. And the thing is, if I had to do something again, what I would tell young soldiers is if you've got stationed, you just got to a new duty station and you're trying to figure out should you buy a house or should you not buy a house, right? Most of the time, just buy a house. Just buy the damn house because you can rent it out when you leave. That's what we did with our first house. We rented it out. So it behooves you, depending on, of course, where it's at, where your numbers are. You need to get into that starter home budget. And in a lot of places, it's still so rural. You could get a house for 250, 200,000. Okay. And your housing allowance is going to cover that. Now, for all of my vets that are no longer active duty, the same steps apply. You still have to do the same process. It's the same process and procedure. You get your credit together. Okay. We have resources for that. Um, so you can get that. That's number one. You got to get your damn finances together, okay? And save up some money. You do have to have a little bit of money in the bank because you want to have some what if money, right? Because you're a homeowner. So, like I told you, mine was 1,500, and that's all they wanted me to have in the bank. I didn't have to actually bring it to the closing table. I just had to have it sitting in my account because since you're a homeowner, things come up. And what we did was we got a new construction home. So our first house was a new house because we didn't want to deal with the what ifs and we didn't have all that money sitting in the bank. So, it's scary to go get a new house that you just spent $200,000 on and then something pops off and you can't afford to pay for it, right? But there are things you can do with that. Get a home warranty. If you don't get new construction, you can get a home warranty. And so those things are covered. So when things pop up, you're not coming out thousands and thousands of dollars. You might only have to come up with, a couple hundred of dollars. So that's that with that. Okay. You do want to have a little bit of something in your some coins and stuff pops up. But when you think about the equity that you're going to gain, when I said if I had purchased when I first got to my duty station, when you're going to be somewhere for 3-4 years, you're going to gain equity, right? You're going to build equity. So when I think about 3 years ago, when I purchased my last property and the equity that's been gained, because when we purchased, it was a little less than three. And now that property is worth over five, so not every market is crazy like that because we were the first duty station, especially like in the army, you're out there in Bumville, like you out there in the sticks. Navy, you guys might do a little bit better. Okay. I was a Navy brat. We was by the beach in Jacksonville. But in the army, honey, you up in somebody's woods somewhere, okay? Um, but with that, right, depending on where you're purchasing, right, you want to make smart decisions because real estate is about smart moves. So even if you purchase somewhere that the market hasn't gained so much equity in 4 years when it's time for you to PCS, but it might be good to have a rental. So you kind of got to look and see. This is when you want to work with a realtor and see what the outlook is. Is the area gaining equity? Does the market look like it's consistently been going up? We're headed in the right direction. Is that a good place to invest in? And then when it's time for you to PCS, is it a good place to rent? Right? People are always looking for housing. So you just want to make sure that you purchase at a certain price point. So when you leave, it's in a good rental price point as well. So those are some of the things that you have to consider when you're using your VA loan. And as I said, you can have more than one property, right? So let's say, so technically, guys, to be a first time home buyer, that means that you haven't purchased in the past 3 years. So there are people who do the FHA, VA, all of their house hacking, where they're buying properties every 3 to 4 years, as a first time home buyer, right? I mean, it's people that are doing it, and I'm like, it's smart. So that's how the first three properties, that's how we acquired it. It was using a VA loan. You buy one, you stay in there for a couple of years because your VA loan, it has to be your primary residence for at least the first year, right? Now, am I telling you that you can use your VA loan, purchase a home, and just immediately rent it out? Absolutely not. I can't tell you that, right? Because it has to be your primary residence. Now, are there people that are doing that? Probably so, right? But then you can't list it as a rental for your tax purposes that year. So I can't tell you to do that. Okay. But is that a house hack? Yes. Yes, it is. So, all right. So far, we talked about who qualifies for the VA loan and how to check your eligibility. The biggest VA loan benefit is the no down payment. Okay. So, guys, let me tell you the story about. I was thinking, I'm like, I'm feeling myself. I'm like, you know what? I need to I want to get another property, right? Oh, let's get that little fly ready. I want to get another property. So I'm like, let's get a property and let's get an investment property, right? So I'm like, oh, cool. Let's get an investment property loan. And I was like, let me refinance my home that I have in my VA loan, and I'll refinance it and put it into traditional and making an investment property loan, like officially, right? So I stepped to the bank. I was like, yeah, this is my plan, right? And they were like, oh, great. So this is an investment property. Wonderful. So this wouldn't be your VA loan. This would be an investment property. And we'll need 15 to 20% down. I'm like, but I already have the house. What do you mean? I'm just trying to refinance and get it out of my name, out of my personal name. Honey, I was like, scratch that. You want me to put a down payment down on a house that I already have? Yeah. All right. So back to the VA loan, right? Left that in the VA loan. Said we just got to keep that in the VA loan. That's the beauty. When you guys are thinking, like, even if it's your second property or third property or whatever property that you're using your VA loan, so you've already used it on one and now you bought your second one. It's been 3 years and you bought your second one, or literally at least 1 year, and you bought your second. If they're requiring a down payment, the down payment is still going to be much, much less than a conventional 15% down. Like, it's not even anything to talk about. Your VA loan, the down payment. So on one property, I'm going to tell you, because I had where I was doing I had multiple properties still under using my VA benefits. And there was a property, the third house, they wanted me to provide some money down. So I already had the property rented out, another property rented out. So when you're going through that process, they want you to provide proof that that's rental, so it's cash flowing. And so with that, I had to put money down to get that third home, right? But it still didn't equal to 15% down. Like, bless you guys with that conventional financing, saving up 20, 30,000, 40, $50,000 to buy your home. Like, it's awesome. But for the rest of us, right, the VA loan, the FHA, that's why they call those pity loans. That's what those are called, y'all, pity loans. I learned that in real estate school. I was like, damn, they call FHA and VA loans pity loans. Yep. But guess what? Have pity on me, federal government, okay? Because I don't give a damn. Because if I'm gonna get you can call it pity loans if you want to, as long as I get a house. Who cares? FHA is 3.5% down. So like, stop playing. It's a no brainer. You guys are like the ones the veterans that I know that are literally in somebody's apartment, renting an apartment instead, or renting a house instead of using your VA benefits. Like, I don't know. I don't even know why. I don't understand why you would want to. You earn these benefits. Like, you earned this. You served your time. You served your country. There's so many people, they talk that talk, but they don't walk that walk. Like, they didn't go pay their dues. So you've already paid your dues, but you're not using your benefits. Like, why? Okay. The other thing is, you can't overpay for the house. Okay. What do I mean by that? Your house is, Nia just co-signed. She said she bought her first house using an FHA loan. That is how we gain equity. This is how we get legacy. This is how we legacy tribe. This is how you build your legacy, right? You leave something for your children. You can own something, right? You can own the land, own the house. So you can't overpay for a house because it has to appraise. There's no way you can overpay. If it doesn't, it doesn't appraise for it, that means that the bank is not going to finance it. The VA is not going to fund it. Like, that's just what it is. You can't overpay. It's no such thing. Okay. Now, can you buy your house at maybe a time where you're not getting the best deal? Absolutely. Yeah. But then what do you do in that case? Sit and wait until the market corrects and things get better, right? It might be 5 years, it might be 10 years, but that's what you got to do. You got to wait. So, guys, that's the real deal, Holyfield. Okay. You can use your VA loan. You can start building wealth through real estate. You get your first house, then you wait a year or two, you get your second house, then you do it again. You rinse and repeat. You can do the same thing with the FHA loan. Okay. Same thing. There are people that are house hacking the same way, where you can build a portfolio. You can build a real estate portfolio using the FHA loan, using the VA loan, where you can have multiple properties. Like, why are we not doing this? I don't know why we're not doing this. So I'm just here to share. I want you guys to share as well. Thank you everyone for coming on. You all know people. You all know people that aren't using their benefits, and go talk smack to them, right? You can't bop them upside the head, but in your mind, you can. Don't catch a charge. But I'm just saying, like, really and truly, do better. This is the year. Stop leaving benefits on the table. Let's do better. Okay. Share the information. Why are we not house hacking? Why are we not using our VA benefits? Next week, I'm going to have a mortgage broker on, and he's going to break down the process for you. That's why I didn't need to go in great detail this week, because next weekend at the same time, Sunday, from 6:30 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be back here doing it again, talking smack to you, virtually smacking you upside your head, telling you, let's go out here and make it happen. Let's get out here and use our benefits. Stop leaving money on the table. The market is shifting. If you're in Atlanta, the market is shifting. It's still a good time to buy a house. Okay. And it's actually shifting away from the sellers. It's more so a buyer's market. You can negotiate, right? There's a lot of houses for sale. It really is. It's a lot of houses. It's a lot of choices. It right now I have some clients that I'm working with that if one goes down, there's another one right there. Like it might not be in the same condition, but it's a lot of choices. So you have a lot of room to negotiate. The new construction, the new builds right now, the incentives are insane. Okay. There's one builder here that is given $50,000 incentive. Of course, you need to use their lender, but these incentives. So right now, this is a great time to buy. So if you know someone that's relocating to Atlanta, they're getting stationed here. Even if it's not Atlanta, we have a network of realtors that are nationwide as well as worldwide because we're international. Okay. So even if you're renting, you're looking for a rental, you're relocating in your rental, a realtor can help you with that. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Does anyone have questions? Because I have just taken up the entire time here, just telling my story of how I use my benefits and why are you not using your benefits too? Okay. So, questions? Do we have questions? Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Next week, it's going to be 6:30. It's going to be mortgage broker. He's going to be talking about VA loans, getting VA funding. Um, because we gotta stop making things so hard. I want to thank y'all for tuning in because I found out it's March Madness. If you watch basketball and if you care about that, I mean, shout outs to the teams that are playing. I know none of them. Okay, I don't know because it doesn't matter because we're here to talk about how to put money in our pockets. Okay, the people on TV they already got paid, right? Actually, those kids they didn't get paid. They're out there working for free, but they got sponsors. Okay. So, guys, I want to thank y'all so much. Do we have any more questions? At the end of this, I'm going to share the link for my free download where I'm giving you a step-by-step guide of how the home buying process. So it's a veterans home buying guide or active duty home buying guide. And it just tells you step by step the things that we talked about today, some of the terms that are mentioned, just gotten into more specifics. So that is going to be available after we get off this call here in just a couple more minutes. Just giving you guys some more time to ask any more questions. Let's see. Okay. Well, so with that one, when I said that I got that first no, right? So when you're applying for anything, like applying for new credit, if you apply within like the same like the same amount of days, right? So like let's say you apply with USAA tonight and they tell you no. Or let's use Navy Federal because Navy Federal was telling a lot of people no, okay? So, so let's say Navy Federal told you no tonight. And tomorrow, you was in your feelings. And then tomorrow you was like, you know what? I'm gonna try again. And you try again with USAA, right? Those both count as inquiries, but since it's an inquiry of the same type and during the same time frame, it doesn't really like count as it doesn't count negatively like that, right? So if you decide that you're looking for financing and you got that first no, then that's the time that day keep going, like keep going because you already got that ding on your credit for that inquiry. So get the rest of those inquiries during that same time frame. So like usually within like 3 or 4 days. I think I've even heard up to a week on that. So that's really the process. That's what I did. So I got that first no, and I didn't let that deter me. I was like, let me go get another no because I just felt like I was able to, right? And then literally that is what happened. Navy Federal said no, and then USAA said yes. So, and then we were house hunting. I mean, It doesn't get any easier than that, you know? So I really think you got to stop getting in your own way. And that's the message of 2025, right? If you took the time to tune into this, if you took the time to peek your head in and see what's going on and listen to me rant for 30 minutes about how I got my first house with no money down using my VA benefits, um, thank you. And it's not for a reason. It's not for a reason. Like, I don't take it lightly that you took the time to tune in. And I hope that you received this message. And if it wasn't for you, maybe it's for somebody else for you to share and let them know to use your benefits. If not for you, do it for your kids, right? So you can leave them something. Okay? Like, it's time. It's 2025. It's still a good time. You just got your tax return check. Put that money to the side. And that's more than likely enough for you to get into your first house using your VA loan. So if you don't, if you're apprehensive, as I said, my mortgage broker is going to be on next week. Okay. And you'll have links so you can apply and see in just a couple minutes what you qualify for and start moving this thing along. Okay. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Ibami Kadar. Everyone calls me Io. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm sure you found me because you've already subscribed. All right. I'm always giving content. I tour properties. We're showing you always what's hot and what's listed. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm always highlighting the neighborhood for you because I got a bunch of children, guys. So I'm always taking them to the park and, things, family stuff. I homeschool as well. So I'm giving you all of these things. This is what my channel is really about. It's about neighborhoods, family friendly neighborhoods, mom friendly. I don't have a dog, but if you like dogs, I'll do dog friendly for you, whatever you need. Okay. So thank y'all so much for tuning in and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And don't forget to come back and tune in same time, same place next week. All right. Let's go.